So as Rick said, I'm Jacqui. I'm from Canberra. I run a business called PT to You. So I've always been a capable person and never shied away from putting my hand up to help people. It's always, Jacqui, can you help me with this? Jacqui, can you help me with that? Yep, sure, no worries, that's me. So what happened was I was taking on more and more and more, and it just got to the point where I had a breakdown. I was 23 years old, had a midlife crisis, sitting on the couch, and my boyfriend at the time was like, this is it, relationship's over or fix it, what are you going to do? And he's like, you're always complaining that you're not good enough, you haven't got a qualification. He's a lawyer, all of his friends are lawyers, so the insecurity came out. He said, go and do your PT course. You love helping people, you love exercising. So I did. Went out and did it, was doing, all of the study while I was in IT, working 9 till 6 or 9 till 5 or really 7 till 6. I forgot the clicky thing, hey. So anyway, I just got sick of it. I went, that's it. I need to take the leap of faith and quit. So I went and I started working for a gym in Canberra. It was brilliant for the experience because I don't know if anyone else was like it, came out of study and you're like, oh my God, I can train people? No way. So working at the gym gave me that experience, that confidence to be able to know what to do with people and how to, how to train them, get results. I did that for 8 months and boyfriend, girlfriend, the woman was horrible. I would have kept going, earning nothing, but it was just the toxic environment that I was in. I had to get out. So it was actually, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. The universe throws things out there for you to either take it and jump or take it and leap or just, I'm babbling. Anyway, so my old boss called me and he was half joking, half seriously. Oh, I was going to call you last week and see if you wanted to come back to IT. And I was like, well, Rob, actually, I was going to call you and see if you had anything. And he goes, are you serious? So that was it. We signed the deal. A week later, I quit and I was back in IT. While I was back in IT, I had a lot of my clients contact me. We still want to train with you, so what do you do? I said, okay, I can still train you, but it has to be outside. Who's been to Canberra in winter? Minus 10 degrees sometimes, yeah. One session, writing my name in the exercise mat because it frosted over. It was fantastic. I loved it, I didn't care, and that's what got me through doing the IT work. I'm really back and forth. So I left the IT, I went and did the PT, I went back to the IT, I then went, tell you in a moment. So with the office work, I'd start PT in the morning, 5:30 in the morning till 7, 8 o'clock, depending on the clients. I go back to the office. I'd work from 7 to 8 to about 11:45. I'd go and train at lunch. I go back to the office. I go back to PT. I get home, I'd jump on and I'd log in and I'd work from home. It was friggin' fantastic. Most of you don't know me. A stressed Jacqui is not a very good Jacqui, all right? I think that most people are like that, yeah. So anyway, I did this for 3.5 years. I honestly don't know how the hell I did it. Support network, having your family around you and your friends as well. You really need a good support network around you. So I was over it. I've wanted to travel overseas for many years, so I decided that's it, I'm going on a holiday. So I left my boyfriend for 2 months, but then there's the problem of the business. So yes, I was working in IT, but I built the business up. I started PT to You as just like a little, self-employed person working, running your own little thing. What do? I can't just leave my clients. So, well, I've helped Matt with everything. It's time for him to help. So I made him do the PT course, poor bugger. He still hasn't retired to this day. He's trying to get out of it. Slowly, we're trying to get there. So I'm overseas. The problem is, who's running the admin stuff? Who's checking people are paying? Who's organising classes? Guess what I was doing? Barcelona, I was studying to do my Pilates course. 45 hours of prerequisite you had to do, so that when I came back a week later, I could do my Pilates course up in Sydney. It was great. I actually really liked it. But it wasn't, the non-fun part was the obviously travelling around, following your dream and having to work at the same time. Anyway, I came back to the horrible IT job. Everything was a mess. I went, I'm sick of this, I quit. But it wasn't that easy. Jacqui being, yes, I'll help, I'll do this. They said, wait till December. So this is October, I come back in 2012. Wait till December. So I stayed till December and then I went out. on my own. I started working at a 24-hour gym, one of the Anytime Fitnesses in Canberra. It was run by, the owners were a fireman and a policeman, so they had no gym experience themselves, didn't know what to do. So it was the blind leading the blind, pretty much. Very unsupportive. Anytime I tried to, get some help with things promoting my business or anything like that, there was always shut down, no help, no assistance. So I didn't know what to do. Neither of us was winning because none of us had experience. I'd do little consults, there were little chats. You'd never see them again. You've all done that in the first instance, yeah? You think you know what you're doing, you have no idea. Anyway, so in the meantime, in amongst all of that, in working at the 24-hour gym, I had a real interest in doing pre and postnatal training. There's nothing really in Canberra for that. So I contacted, I don't know if anyone's heard of a place called Preggy Bellies, contacted them, did a pre and postnatal training course with them before I went overseas. And while I was there, they had planted in a seed in my head going, we need to work with you. You've got so much passion about this, we need to do something. It was either they got a contract in gyms and ran the classes, or I bought a franchise. So while I was overseas, that was another thing I was doing, trying to organise contracts and get find out the legalities of everything with that sort of stuff. 24-hour gym wasn't what I wanted to do. Did the Preggy Bellies, tried to find gyms to take the program on. Swiss balls, the big Swiss balls? We need 30 of them. Try and find a gym that wants to support you and stock those balls and hold them there and not let any of the clients touch them. Forget it. So what could I do? I'm really behind with all of this stuff. I'm going to skip this. Actually, no, I'm not. Sorry. Rewind. In the 24-hour gym, one of the promos that I tried to do was this. So it was a Christmas promotion. It brought in 20 sales, which was awesome. It was really good, but it was all manual tracking to make sure that who had done their sessions and that sort of stuff. You can't see it in the fine print, but it was valid for purchase until the 31st of December and to be used between the 2nd of January and the 28th of February only, and limit one package per person. Do you think I stuck to that? No. I had people still purchasing it in February. I had people still using the packages in April. The clients were telling me how to run my business and what to do because I was too afraid to say no, that I'd lose them. I needed the money because I was paying for rent at the gym, and I was still having to run back and forth to train clients outdoors to make up the shortfall. I did try and employ someone to bring someone in, a subcontractor. It was one of my friend's brothers. Worst thing, because leadership, I didn't have any experience in that sort of thing to show him what to do, to lead him. So he ended up moving back up to Queensland and that was it. So back to the Preggy Belly story, I had to find somewhere for it. So what do? I ended up having to find my own place. Who has a studio in here? Their own place? Yep. Nerve-wracking to go through your first one. We estimated $20,000 for the fit out and everything. Double, triple it. I ended up having to borrow money off my mum, $20,000 off her, and $8,000 off my grandmother. Anyone that knows me, I'm very, very proud. I don't like borrowing from anyone. I like to do everything myself. I got 3 sisters that love to take from my parents, and I'm one of those that's like, I'm not going to be them. So having to go and ask them for money shattered my confidence. But they had the belief in me, and they're like, Jack, don't worry about paying us back, do it when you can because we know that you're going to be successful, all right? It's really good, like I said, you need that family and that support network behind you to really help push with your dreams. So I got a studio. This is my studio. That's Matt lugging all the rubber around and then in full operation. So we launched Preggy Bellies on the 4th of August. I had the renter crowd, as you do. I think there was about 3 new clients in that class, but it grew from there. I was the only instructor at the time. We've now got 3 instructors on board for the Preggy Bellies, which is really good. So moving on. In December, so in amongst the setting up of the gym and everything like that, God forbid him, I don't understand what the hell my boyfriend decided to propose. So in the end, we had to open a gym and plan a bloody wedding, all right? I decided to do it last year because my grandfather had a stroke in October. We didn't know at the time that was going to happen, obviously. But I knew he's getting older. My auntie only ever comes back from America in December, so I wanted it to be last year so that we could all be together. He ended up not being able to come to the wedding anyway, so we went to the hospital and took the wedding to him and had all the photos there. I get a little emotional. So we were desperate. We had all these hours coming in. I can't tell you how good we were doing when we started the studio, because you don't track it when you have no idea that you have to track it. Like, we were doing well, but I don't know. Because we were getting married in December, we needed a trainer to take over some of our hours so we could have the day off to be able to get married. Had this girl come in, we interviewed her, thought she was great. Things were good to start with, it was. But no direction, didn't know what to do. Gave her 50% of everything the clients paid for. So you're handing over your clients to them. How are you making money to pay $5,500 a month for your studio? And then we opened up a CrossFit facility next door as well. So we're looking at $10,000 a month in just rent. It's stupid. It's okay now. I'll get to that. But in the meantime, so we brought on the trainer. We didn't have a honeymoon. And I distinctly remember, so I and the staff went from that to this. This is our property. It's absolutely beautiful. Don't get to go to it very often. It was this day, sitting out at the block, and I was pissed off. It was January, beginning of January, just after New Year's. I'm like, we just got married, Saturday off, Sunday off, back at work Monday. Still haven't done it. It's on my goal list. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh. Matt had contacted MPE a little while ago, coming through Fitness Network. There was like some advertisement for it. He told me about it last year. I was like, yeah, whatever. Because I'd been through a few of those promotions. There's like, am I allowed to name things like Jason Grossman? There's the Create Wealth and all of those. I tried those and they didn't work. I spent a lot of money on those, and to get nowhere, I still had no idea what to do. So I was like, okay, I'm reading the material that they send out, and I'm lying on our little beach, shitty reception, and I'm like, all right, I'm applying for this. So I did, and then Rick called me through the week. Had a good conversation with him, and then auto closer. Is there anyone else required for the decision making? Matt knew exactly what Rick was doing and gave him a hard time. He made you work, didn't he? It was good. So anyway, and that's where I started. So came into EA, implemented auto closer straight away. Awesome. It took away the nightmare of doing the 5-session pack, the 10-session pack tracking, because it was just a logistical nightmare. So came on to doing that. We did the raising the rates, and you've all done raising the rates. The first time you do it, it's hard. We lost 52 clients from PT to you. I only found that out recently by going through and doing the numbers. That's a huge amount of income when we are our own business, like most of you are. We didn't have, we had come from having stable incomes to now being out on our own, which is a scary thing. A number of those clients have now returned though. Okay, because I use Infusionsoft. I need to learn how to use it because I send out a monthly newsletter to my database, and that's about it that I use it for at the moment. But it's brought back in old clients, which has been really good because it's that whole reconnecting. Send out to your mailing list, and they start contacting you. They're like, oh, actually, they do remember me. And clients are referring big time, all right? That is one of the biggest things. Our clients love us and they tell all their friends about it. I've got one girl that has brought in 5 people, all right? That's a lot in Canberra. In February, I had a shitty time, so we started with MPE. We had the CrossFit stuff. Our CrossFit coach was a little bit of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And I didn't feel comfortable in my own gym, in my own studio. He was trying to tell me how to do things again. And in February, we had a massive falling out. He went up on Facebook, being inappropriate, just really bagging us out. And when you've come from a small town, city, you know that word of mouth, it spreads like wildfires. And I was over it. It nearly ruined me. I remember Rick emailed me and he's like, how's things going? I'm like, look, really not good. I called it the tripolar behaviour to my mum. I'd be on the phone with my mum a lot. And the poor thing, I can't tell you how many times she's heard the C-bomb come out of my mouth. Just when you are so angry and you just like, you give everything to everyone and you try and help them, and then the thanks that you get, they just slam it back in your face. So that nearly put me off, and my mum goes, Jacqui, you know what? Just quit, sell up, go back to the office, earn your money there, you'll be fine. I sobered the hell up. I was bawling my eyes out at that point, and I just went, whoa, 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 whoa. Silly woman using reverse psychology on me. So I put my big girl panties on, and I'm still going on. It's funny because I look back and I go, oh my God, what was I so... I've learnt from that, and I'm proud of myself from learning from that. Get on with it, don't have the victim persona. Everyone's been through it. Your life is not different to everyone else. You've got to keep going on. It's what you make of it to keep going. So I came to spring training in May, my first one. I met quite a few of you, which was awesome. How embarrassing was that for me, getting up here and crying in front of everyone? So I did bring a trainer with me. That didn't work. In my gut, I knew it wasn't right, and the writing was on the wall when we went back. Her boyfriend was actually working with us as well. He resigned. This is in July. He resigned 2 weeks later, she resigned. I was meant to have hip surgery in August, the 1st of August. And again, that whole, you know, the universe putting things out there for you, I was like, nah. It never felt right about having my surgery then. And then when she resigned, I was like, that's it. I'm calling the surgeon. If he's got the beginning of September, that's it. I'm doing it then. I ring up. So that's the case. So my next two revelations were the spring training. Getting up, and I said, I don't know if some of you remember, I said, I better not be up here next spring training, and be in exactly the same position that I'm in now. And I'm not. I know that I've grown so much more from it. Next revelation, sadly, as Rick said, hip surgery. I had no choice. It was supposed to be going on a Friday, come back to work on the Monday. It hasn't been the case. I pushed and pushed and pushed myself too much. I should have done this 3 years ago, and I pay the consequence now. So I maybe won't be able to go back to doing the exercise I was doing before, which, as you all know, when you've got that passion, you love that. It's a killer to be told, if you want to have a hip replacement, go for it. I'm 30 years old. I don't want a hip replacement. So despite that, I'm not letting that get the better of me. I've had an amazing 4 weeks at home, lying in bed, reading, playing on the laptop, and just prequeling people. So despite that, before MPE, we had 43 Preggy Bellies clients signed up. We had 29 CrossFit clients. We had 83 PT2U clients, a total of 155. So again, selling those 5-10 session packs. After joining MPE, we've gone to 127 Preggy Bellies clients, 52 clients of CrossFit, and 130 PT2U clients. So it's all under the PT2U banner, but it's 3 different models. Total of 309 clients, pretty good. It's an increase of 174 clients, overall 199%, and a net profit of $108,000 last year. So I'm pretty proud of that. Our average ticket sale is $950 per month and a close rate of 95%. So despite me being at home in bed, I've managed this, or not this month because it's now October, in September bringing $48,000 worth of new revenue for the business as well. So it's great walking in with the crutches. They look at you and go, what the hell's wrong with that? Do I want to train here? But the community as well, the amazing support in the community as well, having that MPE VIP Facebook page as well. I got some great ideas. We had the Baby and Beyond Expo in Canberra on the weekend. So we had 13 new qualified leads as well. And I've still got 10 more that I need to go through and we'll convert them. So I'm standing here because I could, and we all can. It hasn't been easy for me, and I've got to say that entering into the NPE community has been a blessing for me. Even though I've managed to survive 6 months on my own, working long hours, and doing everything myself, I've now got a clear path forward. I had no training mentors or anything like that, and now with MPE I do. I've got a step forward, a path to follow, and know what to do. I can honestly say now I look forward to the next challenges that are thrown my way, another way to learn and to grow stronger. I like the new Jacqui. Thanks everyone.